And we are live. Who all's here? We've got Twisted Dennis says the thumbnail looks kind of familiar. Well, it's just a 57 Chevy I spotted in my travels here in town. It was for sale for a while. Unfinished project, and Lars are here. SSR Performances, that countdown is getting close. You aren't kidding. It's 19 days, 3 hours, 58 minutes. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat is here. Of course, I posted this earlier. Empire of Rust just says, holy crap. What a great comment. JB said he'll be back in a little bit. 6th Street Garage is here. Unity Motorsports Garage. SRP. Ginger Vance says, hello, everyone. Kerosene Cucumbers says, hi. That's a great channel name right there. I always think of Marty Fife and the Kerosene Cucumber. That was a good one. Unfinished Project says commercials. I don't know what we get for commercials on this. I don't see these. I get plenty, though. Cope is here. Pure Pontiac Garage. And speaking of Cope, I'll mention it a little later in the live stream. He is doing a sale on 904 for 904 parts. So if you are a 904 enthusiast or you are so blessed to have one in your Mopar, there's a sale at Cope Racing Transmissions on 904 day. So make sure to get in on that. But we'll mention that a little bit later. 38 Racing is here. Says Mr. Wilburn, like he's talking to my late grandfather. Let's see here. We've got Indecisive Garage Tim. We'll be seeing him a little bit later, too. Sooner than later. My Aunt Nancy is here. Hello. Big Mike and his hoopty barn. We got Dietrich Snuffer here. He's his first-time caller. We don't have callers here. Well, you can be a first-time visitor, but we're glad you're here, man. If the name looks familiar, he is the one, if you see my community post with the LS Powered Camaro and my entry in the Rate My Shop Challenge, that was his car. Twisted Dennis says hello and says hi, Pure Pontiac Garage. Lunar Outlaw Garage is here. If you guys are interested in the Carb Buddy, the manifold or carb stop style, or the plates that go on the engine or whatnot, any of the things he's making over there, go check it out. There is a discount code to the No Name Nationals community in the description of this video. Turbo Tom 416. Oh, and by the way, you know, we promote things that folks in our community do, businesses they have. We don't get anything for that. These aren't like paid commercials. It's just people in the community do things for the community, and, you know, we like to promote what they do. Evans Mopar says, howdy, people, I'm back. Not able to make it live during the summers. Hey, understood. Glad you're here. Look forward to seeing you next month. And I'll be seeing this month here in a couple of days. Dr. Go, they call him Dr. Go. Thank you for being here, sir. Discount code for the Carb Buddy below in the description of this video. I have one. It's very nice, very well made, and made in America. Andrew Nelson says, good evening from Team Nivlac 57. Glad you could make it. Yes, Tony's doing a roll cage all weekend with Dylan Levi. So you guys can check in on that. It's good stuff. They're going to be putting a cage together. You can see that collaboration. RC Industry is here. Hello, Rick. Glad you could make it. Mexican Spec is here. That suburban-looking vehicle you've got in your thumbnail, that metallic green, the woman that works the bank had fingernails like that. They were like they looked like the metal flake you see on a boat, and they were that green. I kind of expected on St. Patrick's Day. Wasn't expecting to see it today, but I guess it worked. Did you see that DeSoto video? Lunar Outlaw has an old DeSoto he pulled out of a barn somewhere. So if y'all haven't seen that, you might want to check that out. The One-Eyed Cat is here. This has been a busy day. What is the status of the 62 Valiant named Norm? We all want to know. We want to know when that thing's going to make its first drive with fresh 440 power. Mean Street Mopar's here, back from his journey to Indianapolis. YouTube is here to heckle. Hello. Mexican Spec says that color works on a truck, not so much on fingernails. I don't know. I thought it was all right. What's the story on the 57 Chevy? It was just in my hometown, not my hometown, but it's in the town where I live. And I saw it in my travels. And I thought, you know what? I want to take a picture with that car. Maybe if it's still there, I can go do a valve adjustment on it. 2 weeks, 19 days and 3 hours and 53 minutes. Not that we're counting. Lunar says, I'm doing well, hoping to pick up a 230 flathead for that DeSoto tomorrow. Headed up to a very special Mopar yard I would film, but he does not like cameras on his property. Okay. LP94 Lars says the Lone Ridge Garage is at 451 subs. He is 49 subs out. And for those of you who have noticed, we are closing in on a 100% graduation rate from the No Name 500 this year. I'm excited about it. Lone Ridge Garage is at 451. Indecisive Garage is at 341. They can both make it. Neither one of them are giving up. I'm looking forward to this. He is 49 subs out. So, normally I get them on a live when they get pretty close. Lone Ridge Garage is awfully close. But tonight, let's see if we can get him a little closer. If you want to work your network a little bit, share their stuff out, send their links to your friends and whatnot. Let's see if we can get the Lone Ridge Garage Mike a tag closer to his 500 goal, and the same for Indecisive Garage Tim. He's a 341, but we're gonna work with both of them, and we got some exciting stuff coming up with both of those guys sooner than later. Mexican Spec says finding those old engines is getting harder. Well, sure it is. They're closing in on a century old. Lunar says, who is brave enough to take on Joe? Oh, you never know. You know what? Joe is the overdog, but there's a lot of really talented depth in that bracket. You just never know. Den of Dreams Garage says, nice work, Lone Ridge. Indeed. He's been grinding away. And so is Indecisive Garage Tim. And you're gonna see more from those guys very, very soon. Heavens Mopar Scott says he's too young to die. Keeley will give my cars away. Is that how Kelly had spelled her name like that? Is Kelly will give my cars away if I died just to get rid of them. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. Most of the old parts says, how happy to join the fray tonight. Hello, Ron. Thank you for being here, sir. The voice of the No Name Nationals. Getting exciting, man. It's 19 days and change, and we're going to have all this come together yet again where we can all be in one place and have a great time together. I'm getting excited about it. Main Street Mopar's heads are set up for 750 lift cam. I don't know why you need a 750 lift cam if the heads are that good, but that sounds exciting. We'll make some power. JB says, you guys have a good night. He'll be at No Name National. See people there. Yep, right on. JB has made it to each and every No Name Nationals. Mexican Spec has already subscribed to Lone Ridge Garage. Cool. Very good. I'm going to pop up that link. I'm going to pin the link to Lone Ridge Garage as he's a bit closer. With that said, make sure to check out both of their channels. Lunar says he called this guy the other day and has 3 of those DeSoto engines. The question is, are they 218s, 220s, or 230s? Wow. I think you need the 220. That's exactly what I would take. Twisted Mopar Garage says, well, machinist said his block was okay. Should make a 40 overbore. So I'm going to order new pistons. The bad is he's covered up in his shop, so I may go pick it up and see if Ed's machine shop can help. Well, He's covered up in his shop. What's the back time on that? What's he saying? I hope Daniel can make it to No Name Nationals. This is the 4th running of the No Name Nationals, sir. The 4th. And I believe I don't know if he's staying course with that Hemi or doing something different. I have no idea. I don't know what Daniel's doing this year. No Name Nationals this year is going to be awesome. It's awesome every year because of you guys. It's you guys that make the show. Really, it is. Brazil Racing says Lone Wrench subscribed. Let's keep track. Ginger Vance says green on fingernails. Yes. It's a nice lady at the bank. Those fingernails looked just like a fiberglass outboard motorboat. They were so metal-like. I like that on a car. Kind of different on fingernails. Jason's Garage Inc., who is registered for the No Name Nationals. Looking forward to seeing Jason there. The RV Warrior. Thumper said I already subbed to Lone Wrench, but my other 4 channels could if it were worth their while. He's going to make it. Both these guys are going to make it. I mean, this is going to be, everybody's going to make it this year. I think it's great. 220 grit is good. 220 is good for most things. Sandpaper, electricity. The 4th, well, I'll tell you, and here's the thing, Mr. Ron Ward, you've been in the tower for each and every one of them. We're so fortunate to have Ron Ward. Tony's Hot Rod Garage says, what's up, everybody? Howdy. Hey, I was telling them earlier, it got mentioned in the chat that you're doing the collaboration with Levi there, and I think that's exciting, and so I'll make sure that toward the end of the live that I tell people to go over and watch the ongoings over there because that's some good stuff. Mostly old parts. As I wore that hat you made this past weekend, got many compliments. Tony makes first-class stuff. Now, I will tell you, don't be expecting Tony to be doing anything like before No Name Nationals. I can't speak for him. He's in here. But I'm telling you, that is the hardest working, busiest guy you'll ever meet. And so, but that said, maybe when there's a little bit of time after No Name Nationals, if you guys want your merch made, shirts, hats, that kind of stuff, he is the man. Cultured Redneck Garage Kyle says getting to join him for the first time in a while. Glad you could make it. And since you're here, I'll tell you, I posted that short of that dune buggy and I got sniped. A guy in Pennsylvania watched the short, got the number off my high resolution video, called him, came down 6 hours from Pennsylvania and sniped me. I mean, I wish him well. He posted, I pinned his message. He posted, thank you for posting this. I just bought it. I'm like, oh man. I want him to get worn down trying to sell that dune buggy in a town that nobody's going to pay that for. Somebody jumped in from somewhere else. Kerosene Cube, you almost said hometown. Well, I live here. I live in the New River Valley in Christiansburg, Virginia. I've been here since 1996, but I grew up in Bluefields. That's my hometown. So the town I live in is where I saw it. But no, my hometown is Bluefield, which is about 60, 70 miles west of here. The only way it could be better than Ron Ward is if we had Brian Loans, Dave Freiberger, and Howard Cosell in the tower with him. No. I mean, I like all of those guys, actually, but Ron Ward is great. Ron is great. And I will say one thing, if he had somebody that was complimentary with him, like, I don't know, perhaps a Brian Loans could be, maybe, but definitely Ron Ward is like, he manages that tower. There's more to it than you think. It's more than just a voice. It's more than just racing knowledge. If you see what Ron does and how he helps the flow of things, it's actually pretty cool, pretty amazing. Ron Ward says, I've worked with David, but I'd really enjoy working with Brian. Howard would have been fun too. Yeah. And Brian Loans is great. I think he's great. One thing I really like about him is he puts out these videos about drag racing history. And well, I don't really have anything against the NHRA. I'm glad he doesn't make it sanctioning body worship, because drag racing is so much bigger than sanctioning bodies and so much bigger than politics and administration. There's been drag racing history since before there were cars. I mean, you know, people were drag racing stuff before we had engines. I'm sure that there are chariot drag races, right? And so when he puts out these videos, they seem to be nice and separate and distinct from the nice, polished corporate confines of a sanctioning body. And I really like that he does that. I don't know what this "did you ask for a commission" is, but I didn't. I don't know who that's directed to. Sandy Boys is my hometown. It's where I grew up. Well, I grew up in Bluefield. That's my hometown. I mean, so I live here, but it'll never be my hometown. Vivid Dreams says someone's gotten into my garage. I'm installing better gate locks, garage locks. Yeah, man, I hate to hear that. I had a couple of black bears get in my yard last week and left some trash bags. At least that was the story from the neighbor whose mail I found in there. There were some black bears who very carefully picked these bags up and carried them down about 100 feet from their trash can and put them in my backyard, where they then tore them open, which just happened to be the night that the teenager who lived there missed trash day on Friday. Let's see. Ooh, closed my own comments for a second. Ron is the best. Yes, he is. Thumper's asking Ron if he knows him. YouTube says I'll be there. Hey, introduce yourselves. We'd like to know who you are. SRP says dune buggies built in the 80s selling cheap. Yeah, this one was all right. I mean, he had it advertised as an 86, but clearly the chassis was 67 or earlier. I didn't look at it quite close enough to see if it had kingpins or ball joints, but it was at least a 67 because it had the wide 5. Blue Brick Garage is talking about Anna's Mustang. Was surprised the National Chain Shop does not do custom work because they do not have a tubing bender. Well, it's becoming a lost art. Dennis, the answer is yes. So we'll say about that for a moment. Those Steel Parts enjoyed working with Barkley. We have good chemistry. Yeah, Barkley's good. I like Barkley. Barkley's passionate and cares. So Barkley's great. RC Industry, I've got a tow dolly, but nothing heavy duty enough to pull it. Yeah, I hear that. I have a tow dolly and pull it behind the CRV. I've moved a lot of stuff with that. It's amazing. And how do you not have anything heavy duty enough to pull it? You got a tow dolly I don't like is the way to take. I think we were buffering. I can't tell if my screen jibes with your guys buffering on your end. But the only thing I don't like about a dolly is where the table turns. If you have a really wide vehicle and cut it really sharp, it can get into the rocker panels or fenders a little bit. It could on a wide truck. So, Unfinished Project said drive at RC. Well, who says he's not? Maybe he's bringing 2 vehicles, the one with the dolly. He wants to bring the C10 down there as well, as my son's bringing his 72 Dodge. You just don't have enough drivers. You can do it. I would be careful of how the fenders line up. I would actually get like in a big old parking lot and make some wide turns just to see, to make sure that you don't get into it that way. Yeah, like to meet you too. Flat tow it, you can do that too. But I will tell you, you don't want to jump in gear when you flat tow it. I've heard some pretty good horror stories from that. Definitely take the drive shaft out. There are no coincidences. I think there's some pretty good coincidences, actually. I don't mean there's no coincidences. So most little parts has met Brian. That's cool. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat is here. Thumper said trailers are your friend. I need a 2-car trailer and a 1-ton to pull it. We've got a couple 2-car trailers make it out to No Name Nationals here and there. Can buy an old dune buggy cheaper and a side-by-side. Well, see, that's the only thing I would have. I'm not interested in a side-by-side. I like the dune buggies because I like Volkswagens. That's what I like, is Volkswagens. I like them. I'm not even interested in the side by side stuff. I don't believe in like carrying on in the woods. That's just not my thing. If you like doing it, that's cool. I know some of you guys do that. That's great. For me, I just like that it's a Volkswagen. It's like a Volkswagen Roadster. That's what I like. Main Street Bopar's got some cams and leaning to what it means. See what your heads flow first. Do the heads, then figure out the cam. Unfinished project, asking about half pint. So where does half pint stand, Colleen? We're inside of 20 days. 38 raisins, giving the dolly method a try. I'm going to tell you, I like the tow dolly. I have one and I love it. My dolly even has Mopar rally wheels on it. Thumper's got a big chain of ifs here. I hear that. Big Mike says, I need a 4-car trailer. They make them. Most of the old parts says this weekend we'll see a lot of basic maintenance on Gladys. Got to repair a coolant leak and a few oil leaks. Do some tuning to see if I can knock down 20 miles to the gallon. Currently at 19.2. I changed a tire on a little Kia Rio last week. I put up a short on my channel. That thing gets nearly 50 miles to the gallon. Just is unbelievable. Tony's Hot Rod Garage says, I knew a guy once that flat towed a Geo Metro halfway across the country before he realized it was in first gear. Cool. So in other words, we could reword that to say, I knew a guy that flat towed a Geo Metro halfway across the country. Then I know a guy who put a transmission in his Geo Metro. RC, glad you could make it, man. Does nothing special. Howdy. Glad you're here. Bruce says, pickup fixed, kitchen plumbing to deal with now. That's the way it goes. Kia doesn't have a 440. No, it does not. It has a 4. The bears should have at least mowed your lawn. I don't think these bears are ever going to do anything positive to my yard. I need to build a fence to keep these bears out of my yard. I did finally find a complete 360 stroker I can buy. I wish it had become available a couple of weeks ago. I could have got the Dart Sport. Well, still can. Drop her in. Get some friends over. Make it happen. Get Brian over there. Tony said the trans actually lived. It spun the harmonic damper over. Oh, gosh. Well, yeah, I guess so, if it was in first. Wow. I'm surprised the transmission survived. I figured it broke the transmission, but no. Oh, my. Oh, my gosh. So have you ever calculated the RPM that would have been turning? If the first gear in that thing is, let's just say it's 3 to 1. Oh, gosh. What RPM do you think it was turning that engine? Turbo Tom says we have over 2,000 cycles in town this weekend and a lot of live bands. Well, a lot going on there. Haven't heard from Brian in a while. He's busy getting a duster ready. He wants to finally make a pass down the track at the No Name Nationals. He's been down the track once and ran a low 10 something with header wrap coming off the car and front end darting around and everything else. So he's back working on all of that, and now he wants to make a good pass, more representative of what the car will run. So he's upped the ante and increased his goal every year. He said, believe it or not, the engine actually lived too. We just had to replace what flew off. Well, that's pretty amazing, actually. I can't believe that. How did he not notice that? I guess just, yeah. I've heard of some cars jumping in gear and destroying stuff. Ron says, Dylan isn't doing anything to his car. Oh, no, he's got plenty going on this weekend, Ron. Check Tony's Hot Rod Garage. They figured it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 12,000 RPM. That's pretty wild. Wow. That's just driving it by the crank, but that's still, and didn't hurt the valve train or anything? Yeah, behind a diesel pusher, you would. That's true. Yeah, you wouldn't. SRP did a did some videos of a zero turn. First time on one. Okay. Half pint is home, and that's the nicest word there is. Okay, I don't know what that means. Yeah, he was towing it behind a 440 powered Class A motorhome. Yeah, well, that will be about right. That's about what we'll do it. Yeah, that's all it would take. 12,000 RPM is your estimate. I could see that. Who all is planning to be at the show at Lambert's on Thursday? Who does plan to be there? Tony's Hot Rock Garage, as it blew my mind that it lived. I remember because I was the one paid to repair it. Yep, well, you would know. Silence is gold. It sure can be. Brian Beeler is here. Hello, sir. Glad you could make it. Gladys and I will be there. Right on, man. Yeah, well, you probably think a lot of things, SRP. $38 racing says I'm required to be at Lambert's. Yes, I wouldn't miss it. Yeah, I wouldn't miss it. We get usually the employees come out and are watching everybody roll in, and quite a show. Quite a show seeing everybody file in there. Well, we always run the bracket on Friday, and we always do the burnout contest on Friday, and we allow test and tune for everything. So Friday's a pretty full day of what's on the track. And we do eliminations on Saturday for really everything but that Friday bracket. Thumper says I'll be there unless I run out of money getting there. Most Old Parts says hoping to see that Mustang again this year. You put on quite a show. Yes, he did. Unfinished Project says only 3 Saturdays until No Name Nationals 25. I'll take your word for it. Everybody's greeting one another. 38 Racing's trying to make a cannonball type bet with Thumper. You might be pretty safe there, 38 Racing. Blue Grit Garage's Anna I will be there if her car won't make it. We'll try and borrow the wife's 65 Mustang, 6-cylinder automatic. Maybe can Anna run the 6-cylinder? Well, there you go. Twisted Mopar Garage says Saturday, September 13th is his family reunion. Oh, wow, right before. Sounds like you're cutting it close. Thumper says you're on. All right, guys, you got to film that. Do different live streams and show where you are and see who's going to get there first. Ron Ward's asking, what's your experience with tired 833s, 200,000 plus miles? I don't know, man. I mean, I've not dealt with many that are that high mileage, but just regular gear lube. But if it's got a whining noise, I take it apart and do it. I like transmissions. So I'm not really the one to ask that, is trying to wring out the mileage out of 833s. I wouldn't even be the one to ask. Colleen's got the right answer there. It's a big family reunion. Thumper doesn't want to live stream, anybody knowing he's gone. Well, I mean, all right. We got a couple of guests. We're going to ambush you guys with a couple of guests. We've got front runner in the No Name 500, Mike from Lone Ridge Garage, and we have Tim from Indecisive Garage.
Howdy, everyone.
Hello, gentlemen. These guys want to discuss something with the chat here, and these two guys both need their subs for their 500 subs. They are the final two combatants in the No Name 500 for the 4th annual AHRA No Name Nationals, and we have them both in the house. So if you've not seen these guys in person, here they are.
Tim, I want to challenge you.
You want to challenge me?
Yep. Ford against Chevy. We'll see who wins.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
I know you got a race truck, but I got the A-Team van, and the A-Team van always wins at the end.
Well, there you go. I've been known to red light a time or two, so that might be your best bet.
There you go. I'll take what I can get. I'm easy.
Well, I'm
is
up
V8
for it.
Caracas your backup girl?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to have enough room to haul your tailgate and JB's tailgate home with me, but I'm going to give it a try.
Well, I tend to not run with one, so you won't be able to take it from me anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, I got some duct tape for JB, so
well, there you go.
I already gave him fair warning.
So have you been on the track before, Mike? What kind of drag racing experience do you have? This is going to be your first time down the track.
Time ever. I've done simple track before, but never down the drag strip.
Now, don't turn left in the middle of the track now.
Well, you got to do what you got to do to win,
Well, don't forget, you can always negotiate.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
So my question is, being I have zero experience and know nothing about drag racing, I'm as green as a gourd. So my van is bone stock. It's a 3/4 ton. It's heavy as hell. And you've got a race truck. So how many lights are you going to give me?
Lights? What is the, what are we doing? We running a full tree down there, or are we running a bow tree?
You tell us. We can do either. We can do a sportsman. We can do a pro. We can do an instant green.
You might as well talk Greek to me. You just tell me when to go and I go.
Well, if we go at if you want to do it with lights, we would have to go a full tree. And let's see, it'd be a 500 tree. So that would give you, let's see, if I let you go on the first light, that'd give you a 10th head start. That's pretty good.
Okay.
So I'd be willing to do that.
Okay.
You go on the second light. So it counts down. You have 3 yellows, then green.
Okay.
So when you see that second yellow, you leave, and then I'll catch you.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. You'll have to remind me. I forget things. So.
You can renegotiate this, if you guys want to do a 2 out of 3 or something. So.
Well, I got to make sure the tranny holds up. She's on her way out.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm going to have to wrap it in duct tape.
What's it doing?
Slipping.
In high?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
well, if you blow one up, that's not the worst place to do it.
I figure if she goes, she goes. I'm going to have to buy one sooner or later. So.
Well, they make clutches in a bottle.
Clutches in a bottle?
Yeah. Lucas has a trans no slip. It helps rebuild your clutches. You put it in there and it gives them a little bit extra life.
Okay. It may have already had that done. I don't know, but we'll try. I don't know what Buff did to it. I know he took it to the Tulsa drags, and I've got the slip from it. I don't even remember what the time was on it, but I think he had to change a tranny fluid a couple times on his trip there and back.
Well, just so you know, my truck weighs 4,300 pounds.
Okay. I have no idea what the van weighs, to be honest. I'd have to Google it.
There. You can weigh it there. We'll have scales.
Okay. All right.
4,300 on that truck. That's pretty heavy. That's more than I would have thought.
It was 4,850 when I got it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's with me in it.
Gosh. That's pretty good.
To do what I'm doing, now mind you, I'm still stock motor, 100% stock motor.
With
just a
I think
small,
there's some extras in her.
a small little wind blower on it.
Okay. Wind blower.
You know, it's always better when you're in the wind, right?
He has that for ventilation purposes.
Well, maybe if you're behind me, that wind blower will help push me across the finish.
Well, there you go. See?
See?
And now
You gotta think positive. You got to think positive.
I'm giving you too much advantage now. I mean, maybe I made a mistake here.
Yeah. Never know.
I don't know. I think I've watched Lone Wrench Mike just kind of move to the favorite here. I think he's got the Vegas odds in his favor now.
I'm the underdog.
That's right. Well, it's gonna be awfully fun. I'm looking really forward to it, and
Yeah.
I definitely accept the challenge. I mean, this will be fun.
All right.
What
I
they
think
say,
it's
my
gonna
truck
be a
is lighter
blast.
than what?
For those of you in the comments who have not yet been to their channels, not yet subscribed, please check them out. See if they earn your sub. I say that with everyone, but check it out. There's great content over there. Tim is
And
running.
Tim, I appreciate the shout out the other day. Thank you.
Bet. Anytime.
Tim is running the very first CRT trans brake for the E4OD. Mike has an A-Team van. Doesn't get any cooler than that. A-Team van, really? I mean, I expect Hannibal to get out with cigar and machine gun in hand at any time. I mean, you just never know. So these guys, they need to get on the track. They need their subs. So send their link out to your friends. And let's see how close we can get these guys. We want to see a 100% graduation rate in the No Name 500 for the first time ever. And I know this is going to be the year. So I'm excited for that. I think it's great. Ron is saying, bring Mr. T with you.
He may have to push.
He may have to put things happen, things break.
Yeah.
Any of you guys have any questions for these guys? I don't know what their obligations are like. I want to tie them up, but we got them cornered for a minute. This is your chance. They're here. We've got Lone Wrench Mike and we've got Tim from Indecisive Garage right here.
Okay, if you got smack to talk, talk it. I don't care. I'm talking right back.
Yeah,
it's all about having fun, guys. That's all I care.
Absolutely. I like to watch. I notice Lone Ridge Mike will go live, here and there sporadically, and I like to tune in when I can. Has a lot of fun doing that. And I've watched a lot of content, with Tim and his truck. And occasionally I would see him cooking. Like, Tim, you made a lasagna one time, I believe, that you were showing on there. And did a little bit of stuff with your cooking and a mix of different things. And so just cool stuff, cool people. Check out their channels.
Yeah, when I first started the channel, I was just trying to do just automotive related stuff. But this summer here at the camp, we were so busy. I haven't raced since May. I took the whole summer off racing because I'm working 8 a.m. to midnight almost every day, and it's just been that way. It's starting to taper off now. I wanted to have the truck done a month ago, and I'm just now getting it finished up. Where am I?
Ron asks, what parts of the country are you guys from?
Well, I'm in Michigan. I would be in the lower Michigan area.
And currently I'm sitting in Illinois at a Texas Roadhouse parking lot, to be honest with you. So I'm at a disadvantage on my phone. I am from Southwest Missouri. I am probably about 180 miles away from Sykeston.
Very cool. Very cool. And what just a question I have. What inspired you guys to want to do this and come to this content creator event and community? What was your who got you, who recruited you, or what inspired you to attend?
Go ahead, Tim.
For me, it was John Cope. He's talking about everything that goes on down there, and he said you need to check that out. And so I looked up your channel, of course, John, and we talked about a lot of stuff about getting down there last year, but that didn't happen. And so at the tail end of the year, I said I'm going to make this happen one way or the other. So I believe I bought my ticket in November, if I remember correctly.
You were registered early.
Yeah, and I started working at it, but I didn't realize how to do the stuff. So it took me probably till almost February before I really started picking things up and figuring out how to get the shorts and all that stuff. And the shorts have done me well. I've not done a long video in a while, and I'm putting one together of all the work that I did on the truck. But again, once we're going into our slow time here, so I will have more time to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'm really looking forward to meeting everybody. I really enjoy the Friday Night Lives. I look forward to getting to them. Sometimes I only get to come in for 30 minutes. Sometimes I get to stay the whole time. I'm on call basically 24/7 here. And again, when there's retreats going on and something happens, I'm the guy. So it could happen here right now. I mean, somebody could knock on my door and I'd have to take off, so.
I got the same question for Mike, but real quick, Twisted Dennis asked a question for Tim. Can we get a live on how you make lasagna? He'd love to see that if you ever did that.
Well, just so you all know, there's a smoker involved.
That sounds great, actually.
And I'm not talking about cigarettes either.
Right. Well, same question for Mike here. So how'd you get recruited into this Misfit Island, folks here?
Well, I really don't know. I kind of became a YouTube junkie watching everybody, and I kind of got hooked onto Buff's Garage, and he put that van up for sale, and I thought, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I sent him an email, asked him what he wanted for it. But he wasn't that far away from me, a couple hours away. So I went and checked it out. It was about what he said it was. Tractor paint, premium job. But, she run good. I've got every maintenance record on it from when it was bought new. The motor only has about 10 or 12,000 miles on it.
Okay.
It's got a new 5.7 Jam Good wrench motor in it. The whole van only has 76,000 on it, I believe.
Wow. Nice.
It was owned by a city up in Minnesota, and good God, is that undercarriage rusty? And it took 2 full days to do the brakes on the thing.
Oh my gosh.
I had to air chisel the wheel cylinders off. I tried to torch and everything else. It was impossible. But anyway, long story short, I got to talking to Buff about it, and he said, hey, you need to go watch John's live. I knew nothing about the No Name Nationals. So, one thing led to another. I got hooked, and I thought, Then I sent you my money, and then I was kind of bought and paid for there, and I was committed. So, and it's not so much about wanting to race that much. I'm just pissed off at YouTube right now for stealing my subscribers again. And it's principle. By God, it's principle now. So I would have been there already if they wouldn't have been like a thief in the night. So.
Yeah, you were familiar with that.
I lost 20 in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. And it's so, I know it happens to everybody, but it's so discouraging. It makes you just want to throw up your hands, but I'm just as hard headed as they come. So
Yeah, y'all got this.
it'll pay off eventually. So
Yeah.
We'll say hi to Old Man Weeb and Sons. Thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. Cousin Cletus sneaked in. Hello, sir. Glad you're here. Ron Ward says tractor paint is better than any of the paint GM put on their cars late 80s, early 90s. That was that recall paint that flaked off. Dodge used some of that too. The vans got it.
it sure goes on thick.
Cope does indicate that a long story short means it's going to be a long story. Yes, this is true. And by the way, speaking of Cope, I'll plug this real quick. He has a sale on 904 September 4th just for 904 people. So if you need stuff for your 904, 998, 999, I would think A500 stuff too. At least the forward part of the A500 that's in common with the 904. That's going to be your sale right there. Cope Race Transmissions. We like to plug stuff that people in our community like that are doing. So if you need your 904 stuff, hit him up. September 4th, 904 day. You know I love that day, and you know why. So I'll show you this. 10% off on all 904 parts on 904 only. and there's my parking sign. I'm going to cut him some slack. He's got Haney behind it, but, you know, we're not towing today. So, was there a 727 sale too? Yes, there was. You missed out. A lot of people took advantage. And there is the link to Cope's YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Thought I would plug that out. Mostly Old Parts is asking, Mike, do you by chance have a red Swingline stapler?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I get it. Oh no. He's we're not in an episode Office Space. Danny Boy's in the middle of a rattle can paint job himself. We have Dust Devil Brian here. SRP says John Deere green lasts forever. Culture Redneck Kyle gets it. But yeah, guys, I won't tie you up. You're welcome to hang around Interface the Chat as long as you like. I know you guys have got things you're doing this evening, but that said, you can hang around all you like. I know that Mike had some things to do, but that said, you can hang around all you like. We're just here hanging out now. I was excited to get both of them in here for doing a call out, and it's on. Lone Wrench Garage versus Indecisive Garage, and you guys want to see this happen, you got to help these guys get to their 500 subs. So let us know where they are. Check out their channels. Make sure to share them around with your friends. I have a feeling we'll be doing a live with Mike here real soon to do a 500 party. In fact, he can get awfully close tonight. And 10
Well,
is
I
not
just want to give a shout out to everybody that has subscribed already. I appreciate you. And those that are willing to subscribe to help us, I appreciate that too. Means a lot.
That's what a winning attitude sounds like.
Yeah, same here. I mean, there's a lot of the No Name alumni that have been reaching out and promoting our channels to help us get more subs, and you know, I'm working hard at it, and I'm not going to stop. You know, I got a friend of mine helping me make up some signs to put on the vehicle when I'm driving down the road. I want everybody to
Yeah.
I will do whatever I can.
I got a QR code T-shirt with my logo on it. That's my panhandle shirt for the No Name Nationals.
Hey, tell you what, let's try something. Let's try this. All right, Mike, you're on solo layout. We'll close that. If you can get that cleared up on the screen, see if y'all can scan it.
I doubt it.
Look at that. See if y'all can scan it. And let us know in the comments if you got it to scan. That would be super cool. I'm going to give it a try myself. Let me try this. See if
they do work. We tried it when we got it. But
I want to see if pick it up just a half inch more. Let's see if my phone will do it through the screen. It may. Let's see if y'all can try it. Let us know in the comments if anyone was able to get that thing to scan. I think that is so neat.
I got one for for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I figure if I'm going to hold my sign out there and panhandle, I thought I'm going to have me a shirt and do the same thing. Make it easy for people.
I think it's great. We're at the
if I make it and Tim has to panhandle, I'm going to be standing right next to him, panhandling for his channel.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of that panhandling lately. We had a pastor stay here. In fact, he's still here over the weekend, and he said he has like 25 racers in his church, and I went, well. So he copied out all my information. When he gets back, he's going to share it with his constituents. So
Colina told me to do the QR code, print it out on the paper, and put it on your car, on the back window of your car. Every one of my personal vehicles have one, and they do work. So, not saying anybody's scanning it, but so.
I don't know how to do it, but I know there's a lady here that can help me with that. So that's a great idea. I think I'll do that.
I think you just go to your channel and go to the share, and it'll have something that says QR code, and you can save it to your phone. And then all you have to do is print it off.
All right, cool.
Yeah, there's generator tools on there. Pretty simple. And
Okay.
you can print it, put it in different places.
I'm pretty computer illiterate, and I managed it. So,
well, I like to think I'm not all that, but I get stuck every time and time again. So there you go.
So, but guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm sure my steak is getting cold, and the grandkids may be eating off my plate.
Well,
they're teenagers, so.
Go take that fork and do some justice and get that steak for yourself.
Yeah. But I appreciate it, guys. And I hope to see y'all in a couple weeks.
Thank you for being on. We'll see you soon.
Well,
all right.
I'm going to be there regardless. So.
Well, so am I.
Right.
And even if I have to drag the damn van with the chain.
There you go.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. See y'all.
See you, Mike.
Bye.
Mohawk just gets here. Hello, sir. Glad you're here. Jason is here. Thank you all for being here. Glad Mike could make it. Tim, you're welcome to hang out as much as you want. I'm just interfacing with the chat. You see what we do on Fridays. You can heck on this side today.
I'm good. I got nothing going on right now. Nobody's knocking on the door. That's perfect.
Hot Rod Guy Garage Russell is here.
There's not even any messages on my phone. That's a good thing.
Of course, indeed it is.
I warned them all anyway. I said, hey, I'm going to be on this chat from 8 to 10, so just consider me not available.
Yeah. Well, cool. Cool. Make the most of it. Let's hang with the crowd here. And for those, what is the count for Lone Wrench Garage? Since he's closest, how close is he to 500? He was 451 at the beginning of the stream.
I've picked up 3 so far.
Okay. I remember old JB's little shop. He fought for them one at a time.
That's kind of how I feel like I've been, but last Friday I jumped 12, and Saturday morning I lost 6.
It happens. So. Yeah, we all get those kind of sub haircuts occasionally. Cousin Cletus says 20 days. Jason's Garage Inc. says 456 subs for Lone Wrench Garage. Man, he's close. So I'm probably going to be doing something with him, maybe top of the week for a 500 party, I would imagine. Something close.
Yeah, that'd be good.
One-Eyed Cat is painting the water pump tomorrow. Well, he's doing a lot of painting. I hope it all goes together quickly. He's going to make it, though. I'm pretty sure. Don's going to make it. Don is motivated. He gets on it. Cousin Cletus says, my race car is ready. Right on.
you get the opportunity to listen to my the 2 shorts I put out about my exhaust?
I haven't yet. You were telling me about your exhaust, but I haven't seen it yet.
When
If one of our mods would put that in the chat, that'd be great.
Yeah, there's two shorts. The first one is I just cut the pipes off and the pipes and the mufflers off and put 2 downspouts on it, and I started it, and it has a crackle to it, and it sounds too tinny, and so a friend of mine put resonators on. So they're just 8.5 inches long, and they're straight through pipe with just screens in it with holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a pair, put them on, and it turned it right into a throaty sound, just what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And the back pressure is 0.05 is what it says on the thing. I was trying to, with the exhaust that I had, it was estimated I was getting about 12 to 13% back pressure. And
Okay.
with a supercharger, a lot of people says, "Oh, you can't do that because you'll change the scavenging." But it's a blow-through supercharger. You're not going to change nothing. It's going to blow it right out. It's got collectors and pipes that goes all the way back to the edge of the door. So, and it goes around 2 curves, 2 90s, and then it comes out. So it's going to scavenge just fine. And it has an X pipe in it too.
We got a reminder from Unity Motorsports Garage. Andy says, give Tim a sub. He's a good guy. Got a link to Tim's channel there. And here's the Resonator shorts. You can watch the Resonator short. You can, if you earned your sub, you can subscribe right from there. But go check him out. Recommended by Unity Motorsports Garage. Lars is at football, says 14-3 at the half. We're up right on.
Yeah, Andy was at the very first race I ran with that new valve body, and I put the first 2 guys I faced on the trailer, and one of them was a 7-second quarter-mile truck.
Wow. I was at the very first pass Andy ever made with that new Boss 429 small block of his, that mixed up Boss.
Yeah, I haven't got to see that yet, but he doesn't know it. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm coming to Rocky Mount, North Carolina, after the Mod Nationals in October, and I plan on giving him a yell.
Yeah.
And stop in and say hello, and then I might go see the Randy twins there at Never Done Projects.
Yeah.
So I'll be in there. I'll be in both of there next to the woods, so I might swing in there.
That sounds great. I love it when people, they make friends out, that are friends beyond YouTube, and I think that's great.
I'd come visit you, but I'm going to have that 40-foot trailer, and I don't think it's fun to go to your place with that.
It's pretty mountainous.
Yes, it is. And by the way, I'm drinking that famous tea that I make too.
All right.
If y'all didn't see it, I made a video on that too. When I make it, but I make 15 to 20 gallons at a time.
You make it in bulk.
I do.
Yeah, I like my tea. I had tea for lunch, have my Dr. Pepper now.
Can't do pop. Never could.
Andy says, come on by, we'll break some bread.
That's right.
I like to go see Andy a couple times a year when I can. I remember his first pass with that new motor. He drove in, adjusted his tire pressure, got in the staging lane, made one pass, went like a 683 or 682. One pass, wheels up a little, came back, says, okay, I can drive it home now. And then fought to get back there for like a year. But anyway, he's gonna get it all sorted out. That's such a great build, great truck. Everybody loves Casper.
Yeah, I'd love to be in the 6s, but I don't have the cage or nothing in there yet. And that's what's happening when I go to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That's Woodside Fabrication. David's a good friend. In fact, he's getting married in November, so I'll be back there in November to his wedding. But
right on.
He's going to have the truck all winter, and he's going to put an 850 cert cage in it with all the bells and whistles.
Cool. Love it.
But Lexan windows, yeah, it's going to be, it's only going to lighten up. Even with the cage in it, it should come back lighter, about 30, 40 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
So, but the seat that's in it still has a stock seat, which weighs about 65 pounds. And the cage is only going to weigh like 40 pounds. So,
yeah. Okay. Nice. I like it.
And then the new motor will have another 350 horse.
Dallas says, don't be surprised the cage will slow it down some at first.
Oh, I'm quite sure of that.
Could, but remember, Dallas, he's taking out more weight than he's putting in.
Yep. Yeah, because it's got that big back window in there, all glass. That's coming out. There'll be Lexan in there, armored core or whatever they call it. The glass in the doors will still be there for a little while. And the seat, it's a powered seat. Like I said, it weighs the seat. I weighed the seat. It weighs 65 pounds. And they said the window weighs 42 pounds. So we're taking 100 out and be putting somewhere in the 55 to 65 back in.
Russell said he spent his day cutting Lexan.
There you go.
Very nice.
I'm trying to get one of those fiberglass bodies on them early F-150s. There's actually one not too far from here for sale, the whole truck for $1,500. I was thinking about getting it, swapping the boxes, and then using that for a daily driver. But I don't know how much the fiberglass box weighs because it has all metal inners. But once I get to that point, there'll be nothing inside the bed. There'll be no bed. They'll have a lightweight cover on the top and the bottom be open.
So what's your end goal with the truck? How quick do you want to be?
I want it to be able to run 9s, but my goal is to run a consistent 1020.
Okay. That's a very attainable goal.
Yeah, 1020 right around 130 to 135 mile an hour. But I want it to be able to run 9s. And, you know, when you race a lot, you never race at what its maximum capacity is because that's when you break them. If you want longevity, you come back a little bit and it'll run that number all day long.
So how long have you been racing? I know you're a racer and you've done a lot of racing.
I have.
How long have you been racing?
I actually started crewing in 2017, but I raced roundy rounds for about 4 years. I forgot to tell you that earlier, but I raced roundy rounds from, I think I was probably 16. In fact, I started racing before I had a driver's license. My parents had to sign for me to be able to race. And I raced for 4 years in figure 8. And then I got married and the wife wasn't having nothing to do with racing. So, that went out, you know. And then I got back in. A friend of mine was racing this truck, as a matter of fact. And he needed a crew guy. And he said, come on, go with me and crew for me. So I crewed for him for a couple of years. And he just says, I'm not doing any good. You get in the truck. Well, then I was doing okay. I wasn't doing fantastic, but the truck had a lot of things that needed to be tweaked, and he wasn't doing any of that. So I started taking it home and tweaking it. And so about 2019 is when I took over and started racing it full time. And then he passed away in 21, and I bought the truck. And from 2021, so 21, 22, 23, and 24, I was top 10 in the country in my division. And then last year I finished third in the nation in my division.
Wow. So what are your thoughts on this bracket? So we've got Just Mopar Joe, we've got T's Good Time Garage, we got Little Possum. He's kind of a silent assassin who's good in that bracket. T won, of course, the second year. So there's a lot of people that might not bring Tim up, but I have a feeling that's going to change after this year. I think he's going to make a splash in the bracket. I think you can be dangerous in this bracket.
I could. I'd like to run that. What's it? What's the Triple Crown or something?
Triple Crown.
But I think you got to have a carburetor though, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's naturally aspirated.
Yeah, I don't fit that category. It's natural. It's natural air going in there. Just being pushed a little bit.
Dallas wants to run the Suburban again as deep staged as he can get it.
Yeah.
Well, that Suburban, Dallas, do you have to leave on Friday to get off the line on Saturday? Is that what it is?
For 4 years, this truck, I drove it on a foot brake, and I did that very thing. I took it as deep till the bottom bulb was flickering, and I would still have a 50, 60 light, and then the thing would not take off, man. It was dog out of the hole, and that was the whole reason for the trans brake, was to get this thing, because it didn't get into boost for the first half a second, and it's like, by then you're so far behind you don't got nothing to do, And the very first race, once I started getting used to it, I was cutting 15, 16 lights. And in fact, the second race I cut, my worst light was a 15, and I came home second, and only because I went too fast. I've never been in that situation. And I had to learn how that truck responds and all that stuff. And as one of my favorite drivers, Clay Milliken, will always say, the butt-o-meter wasn't in tune.
Yeah. Dallas says, I left on the pre-stage bulb.
Yeah.
The reaction time was a sundial picture.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I lived that once. Yeah. Now I just barely bump in, and I'm cutting, pretty good lights.
Main Street Mopar is fishing for cam specs. I will tell you, Main Street Mopar, I'd get those heads flowed first, and then maybe get the DV's program, get him to get some guidance to get you on the cam you need. But I get your heads flowed first. The cam pulls the strings on everything else in the combination. T, we're glad you're here. What's your travel plans looking like, sir? What's your Sykeston trip looking like? I know that he had some family things to take care of last year and was not able to make it. But I said, hey man, we look forward to seeing you in 2025. So I hope it works out. He does come from a very long way away, but great guy, and we want to see him again. And everybody wants to see the Joe versus Good Time T rematch.
Where's he from?
Utah.
Utah. Nice.
I believe West Jordan, Utah, yes. So he makes quite a commute. So camps out with his son. It's a good time.
Yeah, just so everybody knows that I'm also using the No Name Nationals as a test session, because the following weekend I go right up to Bowling Green, Kentucky to race in the Holly Ford Fest.
That's right. Ford's the following weekend.
So Lars, you got to come see me, Lars.
You're going to see Lars in Sykeston. Lars comes and helps me set up. It's always much appreciated. Wednesday is a setup day. We get a lot of things done. If you've been there and seen it, you see what we do.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a good time.
He's only 30 minutes, roughly 30 minutes from Bowling Green. So
Something like that.
yeah, he came up to see me in the spring. So I'm looking forward to get down there again. I love that track.
I have never been to Mo Party before. I'd like to, but it's always so much going on with No Name Nationals.
Yeah,
but I would like to do it sometime.
I've never gone to a Mo Party because I'd be like an outsider, but I've definitely been to Ford Fest. This will be my 6th year in a row? Yeah, 6th or 7th. I can't remember. I don't know if it's going to be because that was always an NMRA race, and now it's this some promotions is putting it on, but it's the same guy running it, Raleigh Miller. He actually called me and said, "Hey, I'm gonna put this race on. We want you guys to come out." And, so my whole clan that I race with is going to go. So
there's always events going on all the time.
I've been interested in doing something like that, but this truck is not the truck for that. But I got a little Ranger, and I have a 1964 289 hypo with a C4 trans behind it, and it's what they call the 5-bolt. So it's it's not the newer version. So I believe that stock 289 stock is a 275 horsepower. So with a little bit of work,
sounds like a good combo.
Put that in the Ranger.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be a hepped up little truck.
Yeah, it would.
I got to get out of here first. This takes up too much time. So, I was supposed to retire in November, and we didn't have a manager at the time. So they asked me to hang on until we get a manager, and now he's asking me to hang on until spring of next year. So, which I probably will, but I don't know if I'm going to go past spring though. It's I got a lot of things I want to do yet, and I'm getting old. So,
well, I'm really glad that you're coming to Sykeston this year, and I'm glad you're going to be able to be there. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we always do. It's about the community here, and we're just going to have a really good time.
Yeah, I'm in the process of buying a new vehicle to tow I have a 40-foot gooseneck that I tow, and which I absolutely love. It's an older one, but I really like it. And I was looking to buy a 450, but the cost to buy one of them, I can't see it. And I found a 2008 Ford or Sterling. It's a toter home for $25,000, and it's only got 56,000 miles on it.
Wow, that sounds actually pretty good.
And I said, so I called him and I said, "Hey, how many engine hours does it have?" That'll tell you the story, right?
Yeah,
1,500. Nothing. Wow. That thing was brand spanking. He says the paint ain't even peeled off the frame yet.
Wow.
And I says, "Well, I'm very busy, but I'm going to send you a deposit." And I haven't actually seen it. It's coming with a trailer too, but I told him I didn't want the trailer. The trailer's a 1990, too old. It just needs too much work. But so I made him cut the trailer off, and I just buying the truck. I plan on making like I said, the new sanction I want to run. They're going to do a 12 race sanction. You only need 7 to get your points from, but I'd like to make all 12. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think I'll be able to do it next year because, like I said, I'll still be here. But once I'm out of here, there's nothing holding me back.
Right on. You got plans. You got things going on.
Oh yeah. And No Name National, No Name Nationals is already on my schedule for next year.
What? You got it on your schedule before I have it on mine. We got to make sure to get that ironed out.
Well, that's the thing. I took a 2-week block, and I just said somewhere in here I'm going to be racing No Name Nationals.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's interesting how it's evolved. It's a pretty good story, but we needed to have this for the community, and it's just grown into this. I mean, originally I said, you know what? I want to have a cookout in the middle of the country at a drag strip with my friends on YouTube here, because I would never live long enough or be able to go see them all. And so that's really what this was about.
I'm sorry. I was staring out the window. Our camp is on a very steep hill.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this guy just came in with a really nice big Ford pickup and a great big trailer behind it, and he stopped halfway up the hill, and he didn't make it. He had to get out and put it in 4-wheel drive. And we're sand. It's all sand here. I got gravel in the road, but the sand just eats it up.
How far are you from the coast?
Which coast? There's 3 of them. So from the east, I'm probably maybe 80 miles.
Okay.
From the west, I'm probably 150 miles.
Okay.
And then I'm 100 miles south of the Mackinac Bridge.
Okay. All right. That's cool. See, I can't quite figure that out, because here there's no sand here. This is very mountainous, and once you come off the mountain going south, you get the sandy soil once you get into the very southern part of Virginia and North Carolina.
Well, we have that yellow beach sand, sugar sand, 75 feet of it, and it sits on top of a 12-foot layer of clay, and then there's an aquifer under that, and it's all pea gravel. I know all this because when I came here, most of the wells were above that clay, and it brings up a lot of minerals, a lot of rust. It's just really bad on the pipes and everything. And we started a program because I went and researched it and found out that there's much better water 120 feet down. And so we started digging new wells, and I put 4 in since I've been here. And the water's like way better. And it's funny how much pressure is in the earth, because the water, we dug down 120 feet, and then the static water comes up. It's only about 40 feet from the surface now. It just pushes up that tube. But and it's all PVC now, so you don't get no rust or no nothing. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, you don't have any iron or anything in that water.
No, we got a little bit of calcium, and I mean a very small amount. And I could put a filter in. Depends on some of them. I put sediment filters in, and that knocks it out. Sometimes you can run it through a lime filter, charcoal filter. But we go through. I'm actually sitting in what you call it the lodge. It's a 50-room hotel, and you go through a lot of water, so you'd be changing filters every day, and I'm just not going to do that.
I hear that. Here we have a lot of iron in the water. We get a lot of that, but I'm on municipal water anyway. I just paid the water bill today. I'm always reminded that I don't have a well.
Well, I'll be honest with you. If I had my druthers, I would do the city water. But
would you?
Yeah. It's so we have, I think, nine wells on site, and I have, if I remember correctly, 155 toilets.
Oh my gosh!
So there is not a a week go by that I don't have to fix a toilet or a sink or a drain or
Wow.
it's it's weird. My buddy calls me every day. We chit chat all the time every day, and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Plumbing." He says, "You're always doing plumbing." Yep, every day.
Oh, yeah, you would be.
And I just ripped carpet out of a room today. I'm going to remodel the room now, but the shower upstairs started leaking, and it leaked in between the walls, and then it come out into that room, and it soaked that carpet, and I can't get the musty smell out, so I carpet out. So yeah, plumbing. I had to fix the plumbing, and then now I'm remodeling a room from it. So
wow.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it if I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. I mean, I like doing everything. There's equipment down in the barn that I haven't touched that I want to so bad. We got this 1970 Bantam excavator, which it's going to make great content, when I start working on that thing, but I haven't had the opportunity. Just been too busy. So, but we're hiring more people to come in. And like I said, once I pull out of here, then I can come back as a volunteer and just work on that and go home,
That'll be nice.
Yeah, that's my plan.
So do you want to tell them about the camp you're at there?
Sure. It's called Bambi Lake Baptist Retreat and Conference Center. It's owned by the Southern Baptist Convention of Michigan. It is operated independently from the Southern Baptist Convention. We have 240 acres. We have 15 buildings. We have, I think, 5 dorms. We have 3 chalets. We have a 25-space campground. We've got 5 permanent homes. The lodge, like I said, it's got about 50 rooms in it. And we're 24/7, 365. We don't ever close. We do shut the campground down, and I do shut down a lot of the outbuildings during the winter months. We don't use as many of those in the winter months. Our busiest time is of course, from basically June 1st until October 30th. And I've been a one-man band for the last 4 years. And I have told them last year and this year, this is it. No more one man. We're going to hire somebody or bring people in something, because this is way more than any one man can do. And I've managed to keep it there, but it's a great thing. It really is. It's all about bringing people to Christ is what it's all about. So, and I enjoy that very much. I'm a very godly man myself, and I like it. I do it.
I like that you do that. I like that you volunteer. I like that you want to give back your time too. Yep. So you work that, but you do it because you love it. You do it for the right reasons.
Yep.
Not because you enjoy fixing broken toilets, but because it needs to be done and you like doing it for the right reasons.
Exactly. And I did a video of the disabled or handicapped camp that we have here. And I did it from a distance because I didn't want to infringe on anybody's rights or whatever. And I did clear it before I put it out. I did clear it with the people that were there. But that particular camp is probably my most favorite one of all. It is the hardest one to deal with. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it is demanding and tough and everything. But to see the smile on those kids' faces, it just warms my heart. It's just crazy. The families, these are all, there's very few walkers, as they call them. Most of them are wheelchair bound and require, 24/7, 365 care. So what this camp does, and these families have multiple kids, but generally they only have one that's in that state. So when they put the camp on, they bring the whole families in, and then we have what we call M&Ms who take charge of the handicap for the whole week. and give the families a break. And then they put on programs for the handicap. They put on programs for the rest of the family. And then they make each one do shows for each other. And it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. So yeah, there's many sides of Tim. There really is. I actually have a quadriplegic grandson as well. So it really touches my heart.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
I love it. You sounds to me like you like to do a lot for others.
Oh,
and, that says a lot about a person.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it when I'm down there. You know, I mean, I come pretty prepared, and there's, you know, even when I go racing with my guys, you know, a lot of us carry different things, and then when we pit, we're all sharing each other's equipment, whatever, you know, because, oh, hey, Tim's got this over there, so we'll use that, and then they'll have something I need, you know. That way we're not loading the trailer with everything, you know, and so it works out.
Very good. Anybody in the chat have anything for Tim while we've got him on? I've got his link pinned at the top. If you've not yet subscribed, check out his channel. He still has a few more subs to go before he's going to be able to punch his ticket to race, but I feel very confident he is going to make it. I know with this awesome community sharing out his content, especially as the last few days come down to it, he's going to get it. He strikes me as a guy that doesn't give up, and a guy who's patient and makes it happen, and he's going to. But we're going to help him. We need to get people, to draw people to the water. He's got the content. We just need to get them there. So if you don't mind, guys, share his links out. I've got it pinned up top. Let your friends know if they want to see Indecisive Garage Tim racing down the track with the very first Cope Racing Transmissions E4OD trans brake. There you go, coming to Sykeston.
So I was trying to decide if I should run 28s or the 30s. The only reason why I have 30-inch tires on there is I didn't want to have to shift into fourth gear, and I'd run out of gear before the finish line on a quarter mile. But if I drop to those 28s, I can get a better 60-foot, and which in turn will give me a better eighth mile. So not sure which way I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet, but I'll have them both.
I think you'll like the 28s for that.
I think so too, but they're radial, so I don't know. It depends on how the track prep is.
This is true. This is true. I will say, you know, last year the track was very good. If you watch the intro to my live, you see that 69 dart on the back bumper. There was some good traction there.
Was he? But he was on a slick though, wasn't he?
I think so. That was a 28-10-5 car, but I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The track was good last year, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah. The only difference between, you know, if anybody's raced a lot, the radial prep, there'll be more glue on the track.
Oh man, yeah, they really glue it down.
Yeah, and you go down with a slick, and it'll wad up on your tires. You'll come back with clumps on your tires and stuff. You know, if you ever raced a slick and you get clumps and stuff on your tire, you went down a radial prep. But I mean, if it's fully radial prep, then I for sure will run a radial. But the way that trans brake works, you know, if it's not a good prep track, it's going to be on a slick. So, and then I mean, it'll slow me down a little bit, but it ain't much.
Blake is reminding, our cousin Cletus rather is reminding. So Blake is in here. Hello, Blake. Thanks for stopping by, my man. Cletus says he wants to be at the front of the track pick. So this year, I believe year one, we were the first 20, and then 21 to 40, 41 to 60. So we're going to be 60, I believe 61 through 80 is going to be the first ones called down for the track photo this year. So if your car number is 61 through 80, you will be in the first group called down for the track photo, which reminds me, If you have not yet registered for the 4th annual AHRA No Name Nationals, remember, you need to be registered by Labor Day to guarantee your number, getting your number back. Everybody will get a number, but I'm saying a lot of people like to keep their numbers, especially low numbers. A lot of those low numbers, people are keeping them for life. You'll never get Jay's number 1 from him. But that said, I want to remind you, do get registered like that. We'll make sure everybody gets to keep their numbers who can. Indecisive Garage is at 346 currently. And Just Mopar Joe says slicks for sure. Just Mopar Joe, he had some trouble in that track on year 2. There was track prep. There was a series of things that caused the track prep to not be quite up to par year 2. They had some timing problems, weather problems. The track did not get a lot of surfacing before the event for year 2. But year 3, they showed us what that track can do. It was great. I have no doubt that year 4, the track is going to be great. Everything's in service. Possum does an awesome job prepping that track. So I have every expectation year 4 will have a good track, but Joe recommends slicks. So.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was looking at the videos from past and looking at the track, and I didn't see too much concrete coming up, so it looked like it was going to be a medium mix to me. But again, it all depends on how well it's prepped to start with, and then how often they drag it in between. So I don't know what their policy is. I know when I go to NMRA, I know because they run radios and slicks, they stagger and then they drag in between. Every time they change from a radio class to a slick class, they'll drag the track. And I've always done very well that way. So it'd be interesting to see what goes on there. But either way, I'm going to have one or the other. The only difference is the radios are 28s and the slicks are 30s.
Well, you can try them both. You're going to have plenty of options for testing, and we always have test and tune. We open both days with test and tune because this event, a lot of people like to push stuff, break stuff, new stuff on the track, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to get out there and make a lot of passes.
Yeah, I generally plan on 10 passes per race is generally how I do it. So.
Okay. You have opportunity to do that or more. I know a lot of people have hot lapped 20 plus passes. I know Blake's made a lot of passes. He's hot lapped a lot. I know B&R Racing's hot lapped a lot, made a lot of passes. So.
Well, I can't do that if I'm going to be wanting to run any kind of number, because the hotter the engine gets, the slower it gets, you know. And I use ice to cool down the air coming in. So I have to, after every pass, I got to go empty the water, put fresh ice in, all that good stuff, you know. So there's no real hot lapping going on.
Sure. But at least you know you can make passes. Oh, Joe's going to try to be in the 5s. He says just an old bracket car, but I know he can do it. Don't ever count Joe out. You never know what he's got up his sleeve.
Yeah, I'm kind of shooting for a 530 with the new motor. I think I want to see the. I kind of want to dabble a little bit with Tom Gunner. So I spent a lot of time with him in Kentucky a while back. We had a blast, and I think it'd be fun to run that crazy class once.
Joe's saying foot brake for the win.
No,
dragging Joe kicking and screaming to the trans brake world.
Yep. Yeah, that was the absolute change in my qualifying career was the trans brake. As I couldn't qualify, I was on the bottom of the pack every race. I could not get everybody that raced in my class was a 20 or less. And I'm out there with an 80 to 100 on a foot brake. And I jump into that trans brake and I'm 20 or less. So, but I'm rusty. I've been out of it for a while. We'll see what happens when I get there.
I have a feeling that you're going to pick up right where you left off. It's going to be great.
I certainly hope so.
Dallas, the foot brake guy too. Well, I'm not a prolific racer like these guys, but I know one thing. First time I used a trans brake, I'm like, yep, this is it. This is for me. I loved it.
Well, when I first met up with John and everything, I already bought a Turbo 400 and was in the process of purchasing all the other stuff you got to do to change that Ford over to a GM transmission. And I just didn't want a GM trans in the Ford. I wanted to keep it all Ford. And it's worked out good for me. I mean, I got no qualms here.
We need a 3-pedal Mafia. Yes, we do, Colleen.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's great.
I'd like to have one of those. My old 64 Fairlane was a 3-pedal, and man, that thing, let's see, 1976. I had Tiger Paw 60s on the back, and I used to jump a Pepsi can for $50. Set a Pepsi can up exactly 12 inches in front of the tire and sidestep the clutch and let her roll. The back tire would crush the can. The front tire would never touch it.
And what was that on again?
A 64 Fairlane 500. It weighed 5,400 pounds.
Man.
And it had a 289 hypo 4-speed in it. I can't tell you how many drive shafts I put in it. 4 or 5 anyway.
Wow.
It had a Ford 9-inch in it. And them Tiger Paw 60s, there was only 1.5 inches between the rim and the road. When you let go of that thing, it would squat that tire, and that front end just walked. It was crazy.
Thumper's got a question. If Cope's in here, it'd be perfect to answer this. He says, how's the AOD apply fourth trans brake? We're talking about the E4OD, which is the truck transmission.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you know that, Tim?
I don't. Honestly, I don't. I know that it's the way that John routes it. It's all in the valve body.
Yeah, that I don't know.
You know, the whole reason to have somebody build a trans is because I don't know what I'm doing. I've done a lot of studying on it, though. Because that's what I like to do. I want to learn. You know what I mean? I might be 65 years old, but I still want to learn.
Thumper's got an E4OD in my 92 F-150. I might have to hit up Cope about that. Perhaps. I mean, that is a good product. He's working through some things. When you're first to do something, first in the world, you got to work some things out. But I got to tell you, his stuff is first class. So,
yeah, I had a full year on it with nothing. I mean, I had no issues at all. And I started having a little bit of issues at the beginning of the year, but it's not the trans. We went through the trans twice. It's not the trans. It's my electronics was doing all kinds of funny gremlins. And the last race I went to, I go to get on the trans brake and I hear a little and then click, and I went, what the heck, you know? So I thought the solenoid was going bad. It turned out to be wiring issues. I had a pinched wire, I had a background, I had a bad battery in the truck, and it had nothing to do with the trans, you know. And John sent me a new solenoid, which I'm going to give back to him at No Name Nationals because it's working fine now.
good deal. Dallas loves it when headers turn white.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. We got Andy in here working out his E4OD, a.k.a. the Casper-Matic. Where are we with that, Andy? Are you working through the converter right now? Where are we with that situation?
Well, his last video said he backed it out. When he went to bring it back in, it didn't have any gears.
Well, I think he said that the converter, something with the converter.
Yeah.
Andy, when we took Casper to, we attempted to take Casper to Middle Tennessee for a match race, he literally packed extra clutches for the C4 that was in it at the time. Because Andy's a warrior. He's not afraid of doing a tailgate rebuild a couple 100 miles from home, right? Yeah, we'd have done that. Here's the thing. I was filming the truck when he went around me on I-40 and a connecting rod flew through the oil pan.
Oh, no.
Right beside me. I filmed it. It sounded like marbles in a coffee can right as he was right next to me. And I got the whole thing on film. And I got to tell you something. Everybody knows people behave a certain way on camera. Like, well, what are they like in real life? I can tell you, you never heard a curse word. No one upset anything. Andy's like, well, this just happened, but it's a beautiful day. Things could be a lot worse. Let's see what we can do, right?
Yeah.
He was cool and fine, and everything was good, right? So on the side of the road, took a wire, pulled the lifters up. I have a trauma kit in my vehicle, so we're sitting there, literally used combat gauze and taped up the hole in the block to keep the oil in it. We were going to try to fire that thing up, and we got another 100 yards down the road. We're trying to get down to the exit with 7 rods in it.
Oh, geez.
And it got down about 100 more yards, and then it locked up the crank.
Oh,
But it was tried. So anyway, that was a fun 8 hours on the side of the road with the Wood brothers, Andy and Steve. But yeah, Andy's a warrior, so I know he's not afraid of swapping a converter last minute or doing some thrashing. He's made of the right stuff for that. But I wish he was smooth sailing. But when it's not, he knows how to thrash and work. I can say that.
Yeah, I had a couple of weird things happen here lately. I showed it on my video there, but rear end fluid was pushing through the yoke, and so my son said, check the vents on there. So I did, and the hose was plugged up tighter than a drum. So then he said, "You pull it off the axle?" I went, "No." He said, "Well, pull it off the axle too." And I pulled it, and that thing was plugged up, So I've cleaned all that, and I pulled the dry shaft off, and I cleaned the front of that, and I took the nut off, and I put a little silicone behind it, put it back on, and I'm looking at the dry shaft, and it's full of metal shavings. And it's like, wait a minute, why is there metal shavings right there? And that's the part where it bolts onto the rear end. So I'm thinking, all right, and I start looking at it, and apparently it had a bad U-joint before I got the truck, and it had ate part of the dry shaft. And that shavings was stuck in there from that because there was no fresh grinds anywhere. And I drew some oil out of the rear end, take a sample, and there was no grind, no metal flakes in there either. So I says, well, I'm just going to run it. We're going to let her go. But it's been some weird stuff.
Any questions or anything for Indecisive Garage Tim while he is here? Time does fly. That's the one thing we could never get any more of. John Wilburn's shirt wins the internet today. My shirt says, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms should be a convenience store, not a government agency.
Right. I like it.
Yeah.
What's mine say? Staff.
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 Yours will get you into places. Mine will get you kicked out of places.
That's right.
Bumper's asking, with Cope's valve body, does it still need an ECM?
No.
It's all hydraulic.
It's all hydraulic. It's
yes.
I had to have the trans tuned out, and there's a big long story for that I don't want to get into, but when John tested it, everything was fine, everything worked great. But the neutral safety switch, or the, as they call it, gear selector switch, was on top of the transmission. It wasn't hooked up. When he gave it back to me, he hooked it up. Well, the computer saw it going from neutral to first at 5,800 RPM. So it would shut it off. It would shut the engine off because it wouldn't let you neutral drop at 5,800 RPMs, which you were going from first to second because with the new valve body. And it was in that neutral safety switch or gear selector switch that wasn't in the tune, that you can't tune that out. You have to cut the wires. You have to stop the signal. So I found it by accident, to be honest with you. My son and I worked on it for about 10 hours, and I was leaving the next morning to go to that race that Andy came up to see me at. And we figured it out and cut the wires, and perfect ever since.
Blake says, you lost me at computer.
Yeah. This is my first one ever that's had it. And this laptop that I'm on right now, I actually bought just for this truck, because I have data for every single pass I've ever made since I got the computer. And it's pretty nice. I mean, I can go to a track that I've raced before and be within 300 thousandths of a second to what I think it'll run.
We have Leighton in here, aka Boosted Designs. Hello, sir.
A lot of new guys in this chat this today.
There are. We welcome new people to the community regularly. Vintage Adventure Drive says, all these people getting Monday off, I go back to work on Monday. Hopefully they pay me holiday pay. Battery Blake says he does it with pen. Boost is asking, how is everyone? Well, you see it. Looks like we're having a good time and fellowship in here on a Friday evening. Got a few minutes left here to be live. Bad Tree Blake says, lots of fish in here. Lots of barracudas in here. See one right there. That's a good thing. Yep, I agree. What have you got going on, Blake? Tony is here. Tony, how are things going with your roll cage project? I'm going to plug that right here at the end. Let people know you've got it going on. Vintage Adventure Drive says he has an orbiting body. Get it? His satellite. Vintage Adventure Drive says it depends on how he fills out his timesheet. The answer to that should be honestly.
So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to bring to eat at No Name Nationals. I want to make a dish to pass, and I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Bad Tree Blake says if by some medical, maybe he means miracle, I show up, Joe has to forego the purple barracuda for me for the day. I'll tell you what, I will say this. If Blake shows up without a ride at No Name Nationals, you guys would do well to get him as a jockey driver. And Joe's got a BTP sticker on his oil pan to show the world. Colleen's got Tony on in the living room and me on the carport. I've been banished to the outside, apparently. Leighton says barbecue nachos at the track have been great every year. Yes, they are.
Yeah, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, blah, blah, blah. So I don't get to partake in a lot of that stuff. But as a result of doing that, I've lost 64 pounds. So there you go.
Wow. Over what period of time?
Over a year.
Okay. Wow. Good deal.
Yeah, it's going to stay off. I mean, that's the whole point of it. I'm not doing anything fast. I'm not fasting. I'm I eat when I get hungry. I don't have set times that I got to eat. When I get hungry, I go eat.
Anything you miss eating?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, I was a pastry fanatic. Yeah, there's a reason why I got to 334 pounds.
Wow, 334. Geez.
334. Yeah, I took a picture Christmas of 23 with my family. They all came up here to be with me, all my kids and grandkids. And I looked at that picture for about 6 months and I said, dude, you got to do something.
Yeah.
This is horrible. And I was very sick. Last year through 24, I was very, very sick, actually. And I didn't realize how sick I was until I started getting better. But it was part of it was the food, because I lost my gallbladder a few years back. And all of a sudden, I can't have any dairy. I can't have any grease. I can have it. I just suffer from it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then things weren't well. And I said, I got to figure out something. And the lady here, her whole family's gluten-free. So she started teaching me how to eat gluten-free. And after about 2 months, all of a sudden, I started getting better, way better. So I stayed on with that, and then that's where that lasagna come in. That lasagna was gluten-free, and it was also cooked inside a smoker. So I might bring a dish of that, and I'm really looking at some short rib tips, maybe.
Okay.
So, whatever I bring like that is going to be passed, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to bring a smoker and smoke it there, or if I'm going to smoke it ahead of time and just heat it up. I haven't decided yet. Depends on how much room I have in the trailer is really the answer to that. My smoker's not small. I can put 8 pork butts in it.
T says I'd like to lose a couple hundredths from the waistline myself.
Yeah,
a couple
hundreds, yeah. Well, you know, you don't think about it, but every 100 pounds is a tenth. So every 10 pounds is 100. You know, it's so that's why I said I'm curious to see what the truck is going to run now, because since I've been in it in May, I myself have lost 20 pounds, and I know I've taken at least 40 pounds off the truck. So there's another 500 there, which puts me into the 740s if the truck runs like it should.
Right on. Lone Wrench, you're back. How many subs have you picked up? You picked up any subscribers over the course of this live? Bad Tree Blake says he lost 35 pounds switching to Ultra versus Coors and stopped eating bread.
Yeah, well, it's more bread than the beer, I would be honest with you. But yeah, that's probably what I miss the most, to be honest with you, is bread, because I do a lot of gluten-free wraps, and I like the spinach and the they have a sweet potato wrap and a spinach wrap, and those are pretty good. Most of all the other ones are like cardboard.
That's an honest assessment. Thumper is under 300, and Colleen is 456. No, I'm just kidding. That's the subcamp below the pitch garage. You put that there, I couldn't resist.
Right.
But Tim's at 347. So,
nice.
So kind of the most efficient way to do it is obviously go check out both their channels, subscribe to both. Lone Wrench is really close, so I'm thinking let's get him across that finish line, and then it's all focus on Tim, and he's going to get it. Vintage Adventure Drives. By the way, Vintage Adventure Drives, I think, is like 21 years old. He said the heaviest I've been is 195. I lost 40 pounds with a heartbreak in 2020. Haven't gotten over 165 since. Just wait, my man. He's 20. Yeah. You just wait. It's coming.
I was 226 when I graduated high school, and I was 250 when I got married, and I carried that 250 for 20 years, and then all of a sudden, there I went.
25. I knew he was a young fella. 25. He's already
20.
young guy.
There you go.
Mean Street Mopar said 286.7, but the same. But he's consistent. And you can definitely do that, Mean Street. Yes, you can. If you want help, hit me up.
Yeah.
Old McDonald's 260, like 24. Danny Boy was 220 in my 20s. That's a good number. That'll make you want to adjust valves and paint things turquoise.
I'd like 226 again. I would settle in the 230s. Anything in the 230s I'm good with, but my ultimate goal is 226.
Yeah, my grandfather's nickname was Skinny. That's what they called him. And my dad took after him. And guess what? I didn't.
Well, my dad was 6'7", and I don't think he was 210 pounds. I don't think.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, after COVID and things kind of changed around and stuff was closed. And I think a lot of people put on some weight over COVID and are getting rid of it now.
Well, my biggest push was my heart condition. I carrying all that weight was not healthy at all for it. And it's funny, my cardiologist probably weighs 400 pounds. And he's standing there. He's standing there telling me, if you lost some weight, I'm looking at him like, yeah. I said, who's at the trough first?
Right. Right. Well, it's one of those things. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
That's right.
Every now and then I'll get one of these suggestions in my YouTube feed for some reason that show my 600-pound life. And boy, that's interesting. I mean, that's a whole different league, right?
Yeah.
And these are people that are trying to reclaim their lives. And I mean, yeah, you can say it makes me feel better about, the kind of weight loss in the scope of what we're talking about, right? Just like
Sure.
functional people who want to improve their lives, right? Not people who can't function and want to reclaim a life of some kind, right? That they haven't had in decades. It's a whole different deal, but it's interesting to me. It is interesting to me.
Yeah, I love eating salads, so that makes it easy, and I like lunch meat sandwiches,
Yeah,
and that makes it easy because all of your lunch meats are, there's nothing in them that harm you, and then you put a gluten-free wrap around that, and you're only eating probably, depends on how much. Like I use honey mustard, so for every tablespoon of honey mustard, it's 2 carbs. So in the sandwich that I eat, it might be 8 carbs. The trick is I used to make 3 of them and eat them, right? So now I make 1 and eat it. And then I walk away. And if I feel like I want something else, I'll cut a piece of watermelon, which I love all the melons too. So missing the sugar was tough, but after about a year, that yearning for the sugar kind of went away. Just like when I quit smoking, it took 10 years to get rid of the urine, but yeah. So, but now, yeah, I'm good with it. I'll have a sweet every now and then, but then I'll feel guilty, So
how long? When did you quit smoking? How long have you been smoke free?
Oh my God, I've been smoke free for almost 40 years now.
Okay. 4 years, you say?
40.
Okay. Okay. That makes more sense. 40 years. Wow. 40. Okay.
Well, when I worked at the railroad, which I did that for 14 years, I became a yard master, and it was one of the toughest jobs. It is the toughest job I ever did in my life, right? I smoked 4 packs of cigarettes in 8 hours.
How is that even possible? Because that's 80 cigarettes.
I had one in my hand, lit, one lit in the ashtray on my left, one lit in the ashtray on my right.
Yeah.
You're going on and on and on and on. You can't pay attention to this little stuff. You want a cigarette, you grab another one, even though there's one sitting there burning in the ashtray already.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was monotonous.
You know, I've worked the numbers on just what smoking costs by per pack nowadays. If you stuff that in the market, it's staggering. Smoking costs a lot too, in addition to
You
your
know,
health.
you say that, and what I actually did was bought a brand new car, and the car payment was cheaper than the cigarettes.
Yeah, indeed. I'll tell you what, this is really interesting. And you know what I think will be kind of fun to do is sometime after No Name Nationals, I think a whole live, just some off, not on Friday evening, but we'll pick a different time during the week, sometime like that, and have a live about this kind of thing. Dieting, stuff like that. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Live about the kind of stuff we consume and all that. I think that'd be kind of a fun little round table to have with different people in here. It might be fun, especially because I'm reading a lot of stories of weight loss in the chat and that kind of thing. I think it'd be interesting sometime after No Name Nationals. And there comes Rapid Transit Jay showing up. But we're at our time, so I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate you guys coming out on a Friday evening. Thank you much. I mean, we are now under 20 days to go until the 4th annual AHRA No Name Nationals. We have 19 days, 1 hour, 58 minutes until D-Day. And thank you guys for coming out. If you've not yet registered, the link is in the video description below. You can go there, nonamenationals.com. Your phone will redirect right there to the Square store. You can register. Clock is ticking. But there's the link to Tony's Hot Rod Garage live after this. Make sure to go there and check out. They got a marathon build going on with Tony and Levi of Levi's Backyard Performance. They are doing a roll cage live, and you guys can see it. And I will get one last plug in for this. If you guys don't know about it, for those of you, these 904 guys, 10% off on all the 904 stuff on 904 at Cope Racing Transmissions. Go check that out if you need stuff for your 904. But with that, thank you guys for coming out. Everybody have a fun and safe Labor Day weekend. And I will see you guys again next Friday.
Thank you all for the subs. I appreciate it.